Muy buenas noches a todos ustedes. It's such a pleasure to be here tonight, and I'm pleased here especially to reconnect with my roots. Of course, I'm not talking about my Latino roots. I do that every day. I'm talking about my journalism roots. I'm proud to have a broadcast news journalism degree from the William Allen White School of Journalism at the University of Kansas. So I feel that I'm among a family and friends here, and I think that that journalism degree, as well as my law degree and my Spanish degree, have helped me as I've taken the helm of NCLR. And I guess I want you to know that you're not alone out there. We're working very hard as an organization to continue to advocate for our community and to, of course, correct these injustices that occur every day now when we don't have leadership on immigration reform, to try to support our communities at the local and state level, but also to continue to advocate for this, and we do so proudly. I was telling someone that in many respects I thought in this 21st century at the helm of this organization we'd be advancing an opportunity agenda, which is something we try to do. But yet it seems like we've gone backward, and we're back to defending our community against a very intense wave that you all have touched on here. So when I look at what we do, I am inspired by what I see here tonight, and I'm especially inspired by the wonderful woman that I'm going to be presenting to this wonderful award tonight. I'm so proud tonight to present the NAHJ Leadership Award to Maggie Rivas-Rodriguez. The Leadership Award is presented This leadership award is presented to an individual or a company that has made a major contribution to advancing the presence and influence of Latinos in our nation's newsrooms. Since 1998, Rivas-Rodriguez has taught journalism at the University of Texas at Austin, where she is currently an associate professor. Maggie is teaching a strong grounding in practical experience. During her nearly 2 decades in daily journalism, she worked with United Press International, the Boston Globe, WFAA-TV in Dallas, and the Dallas Morning News. Maggie Rivas-Rodriguez has embodied leadership over the course of her careers in journalism and academia. As a founding member of NAHJ, she created some of NAHJ's now long-standing educational programs. She has also held leadership positions with the Network of Hispanic Communicators of Dallas-Fort Worth and the Freedom of Information Foundation in Texas. She also helped start the first Latino reporter student newspaper, a successful model that has been emulated by other journalism organizations. At UT, she has established the U.S. Latino and Latina World War II Oral History Project, a wonderful, wonderful initiative that sets to document the stories of Latinos and Latinas across the country who served in World War II. Under Maggie Rivas-Rodriguez's leadership, the U.S. Latino and Latina World War II Oral History Project has collected interviews with more than 500 veterans. Her two passions, true media diversity and highlighting the contributions of Latinos and Latinas in service and sacrifice to our nation, came together this year as Maggie spearheaded a national campaign to ensure that the experiences of Latino World War II veterans and their families were included in a meaningful way in Ken Burns' documentary, The War. Thanks to an unprecedented grassroots mobilization of Latino veterans throughout the country and sheer persistence, the effort garnered support from all corners of the Latino community, including our U.S. Latino senators, the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, and dozens of Latino organizations, including mine, the National Council of La Raza. This was an effort we were very proud to be a part of because now, more than ever, the story of Latino contributions throughout American history needs to be told to and needs to be known by all of our fellow Americans. Whatever one thinks of the Burns final product, there is no question that Maggie's efforts have ensured that the Latino story of World War II will never be forgotten again. Please join me in watching the video.
Oh, working with Maggie makes me very tired. She is extremely high energy. Sometimes I wonder how she manages to juggle the 203 things that she's doing every week.
She saw something that needed to be dealt with, and from a journalistic perspective, and then as a Chicana and as a mother of 2 children, felt that the Latino mothers whose sons and daughters had been in the war were being insulted by not being included. And her argument, as she presented to me, was one that was overwhelming and encouraging and very optimistic, because she is a very optimistic person and just moves forward with the issue.
Well, let me say, she's a good leader, and everybody loves her. She gets down to what she wants to know and what the public should know. And I think that she has done a very good job.
So this issue might have been talked about here and there, but never from a national, perspective, which is what she has done very effectively.
And I think what Maggie showed us, and I think as a good example for her students, that when you believe in something, you have to be willing to go out there and fight.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, NAHJ. Tonight really is a huge celebration of good journalism. And I know that what Janet said is true. There's a lot of people out there that are doing good work to bring some awareness to the contributions of the Latino community around the country. We journalists do one part of it, and there's people all over the country that are doing everything that they can in their own worlds as educators and in other ways as business people. When we first started the project, the World War II project, 8 years ago, I knew that it was kind of a radical idea. In our country, it's considered a radical idea for the contributions of all Americans to be included in our history books, if you think about it. And I would say this to people, and oftentimes I'd get this blank look like, what are you talking about? Because for a lot of people in our country, they think that we really have arrived. They think that Latinos, because we have a few that are visible, they think that we have all arrived, and they haven't seen the problems that we face. I think that what the Ken Burns PBS documentary issue has really shown all of us is how we still aren't accepted as Americans. It's been very clear to a lot of us for a long time that some of us feel like we're all dressed up and we're at a wedding, but it's a stranger's wedding, and we're having to explain why we're there. We shouldn't have to explain why we're in our own country. We shouldn't have to, on a daily basis, open a newspaper and see another insult, or watch a television broadcast and be insulted again. That shouldn't be part of what our daily lives as Latinos, but it is. We do have a lot of work to do, and this really has shown us how much work needs to get done. Defend the Honor is the name of the grassroots effort that has really formed around this. People are so angry around the country that they're not letting this one go, and they realize that this is a Latino moment. This is a moment where we can try to build on some of the momentum we have here and some of the good efforts that we all have, and do what we can, bring our own work to the fore, and make sure that we can make a difference. So thank you all very much for this wonderful honor, and please know that one thing that this honor does say to me is that when those rednecks come after me, and they will, and they have, and I've got to say, it really does help to have a department chair like Lorraine Branham, this African-American woman that you saw at the very beginning, because she got one of those redneck emails at the very beginning, and she said, Maggie's doing something that needs to get done. But really what NAHJ says with this honor is that this is something that is important to our community, and that if they come after me, they're going to have to go through you all. Thank you all.